All right, everyone. Welcome to another video of Views from the Stands. Your host here, Gunner, and we're going to be doing a little sports update around the world. Figured we can talk about some of the things that have been happening while we've been doing the transfer portal series. So, real quick, if you guys haven't done so yet, please go subscribe. Been looking at some of the data. We definitely have more viewers than subscribers. So come on, come support your boy, and let's get this journey going. So we're going to talk about some MLB here first in the first kind of segment, if you want to call it, and we're going to talk about the Reds' top prospect, Noelvi Marte, infielder, one of the top prospects in the game, really. And guys, he gets an 80-game PED suspension after a positive test. So he is basically the headliner in the Luis Castillo trade. If you remember, Luis Castillo goes to the Mariners in that trade, and so basically, obviously, the Reds, right, fully support the MLB's drug policy and its penalties. So they have no further comment. He's batting .316. Again, he was the headliner, and he .316 in 35 games. So he'll be eligible to return in the 81st game of the regular season, which is on June 26th. That'll be a final 3-game home series with the Pirates. But I mean, this is crazy, but I mean, not surprising to be honest. I mean, some of these young cats, dude, they're definitely on some type of sauce where they're just, these athletes are obviously getting better and better over time. So it sucks from the game of baseball. You don't want any of our young guys to get popped with PEDs, but I mean, they'll learn hopefully, and the game will continue to move on, and we'll have other prospects grow from this due to this situation, right? Next man up type of deal in terms of who's that next star. So definitely sucks for the Cincinnati Reds. They have some dudes, obviously, but they still have Eddie De La Cruz. So I do like Cincinnati. I do like, and don't want to get ahead of what we're going to talk about later on. Kind of a sneak peek. So, next guy we're going to talk about here is Joey Votto. So, Joey Votto finally gets picked up by a team. He got a non-roster invite by the Toronto Blue Jays, his hometown team. And I'm excited. I mean, he's been on, kind of been going viral a little bit lately with some of his pictures and whatnot, and like being lonely and just not being able to play baseball, right? So Blue Jays gave him a call and signed him up, and I hope he does some good things because I do think a lefty bat is what the Blue Jays needed, right? I'm not sure kind of what we're going to expect from Joey Votto because of his injuries, right? He had the shoulder reconstruction in 2022. He's brought it up on a different podcast, obviously not mine, but where it takes a while for that injury to heal itself and to really be fully healthy, right? He was healthy to be able to play baseball, but he still had to overcome some hurdles to still play in the game. So we'll see. We'll keep tabs. Obviously, I know a lot of fans out there will be keeping tabs on this because Joey Votto's a fan favorite, not just obviously for the Reds, but I would just say for the game of baseball. Next thing we're going to talk about, guys, and it's pretty much going to be a little bit of a Dodgers talk now here. We're talking about Mookie Betts to be the Dodgers starting shortstop. The decision is permanent for now. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts said Friday to the Athletic. So this is, due to some situations that's been happening with Lux at shortstop throughout the spring training, and it's obviously been, you can tell there's some angst in that left side of that infield. And so they're going to make the switch. They're going to move, Mookie to short and Lux at second. And my thoughts are this. One, Lux is a second baseman. He is not a shortstop, so moving him to second base he will be much more comfortable, and he will be able to do his thing. Mookie Betts, he's just an athlete, and so he played a handful, maybe more than a handful of games at shortstop last year, and he played solid in my opinion. I don't really recall any concerns or issues, with him. He's got a good arm, so I mean that's not going to be an issue. And no disrespect to Lux, that was, in my opinion, his issue. Right, the first off, it's his feet work. Right, is not there for a shortstop, and then the arm is just not there for a shortstop. So we still have Miguel Rojas as well to play some short if needed. But again, Lux is a second baseman, and so you don't want to really hurt his development. And since Mookie's willing to do anything to win, I mean, move him around and try that out. So I'm excited for it. This is honestly kind of what I was hoping for to turn out even before the struggles happened with Gavin Lux. I was also open to having Lux be the shortstop. I mean, at the end of the day, these guys in the front office of Dodgers, they know what they're doing a little bit more than me. So, got to roll with the punches. We'll obviously agree and disagree from here on, and that's why we have this channel to discuss those type of decisions. So it's going to happen today. They do play a spring training game today, and we're going to see it. So I'm excited. I'm going to check it out. But now we got Mookie Betts moving to shortstop. Just some other talks. There's been some rumblings around Willie Adames and the Dodgers' mutual interest. We'll see what happens. I think that will probably be an in-season move. Given the situation with the shortstop in the middle infield, I think if that's needed, we'll see. I think at the end of the day, Mookie wants to be in the infield, so I don't foresee him playing much outfield. All right, guys, we're going to talk about some NFL now, and it's really going to revolve around my Steelers. So we're going to do a Steelers talk now, and what's going on here. So a lot is happening with the Steelers. So first thing is going on is that Russell Wilson and the Steelers have met and are potentially still in a visit, or on a visit, I should say. Russell did visit the Giants prior to this visit, so just kind of a FYI heads up there. Sounds like also Vegas is interested, and there's some interest because of the situation Russell is in. He's been released where there'll be a dead cap of $85 million for the Denver Broncos, and so basically he's getting paid like $39 million. But what happens is basically he's going to be, in theory, technically playing for free for another team, right? So everyone's going to offer him a veteran minimum because no matter if he plays or not, he is going to get paid the $39 million, right? So obviously he really has no leverage for the future teams. So he's going to get 1.2, and really technically that 1.2 and gets deducted from that $39 million. So it becomes like 37 point something, right? Which is interesting. So technically, in theory, right, he's getting played for free, like I mentioned. So again, mutual interest. I'm interested from a fan perspective. He threw more touchdowns in one season than the Steelers the last two seasons. Obviously, we're just in a weird state lately with the Steelers, right? Been so thankful the last 15, 17 years prior to this change of Big Ben. So just being in this situation is obviously uncomfortable for most of our fans, but I think this is a plus. You come in, you compete for the job. Most likely, will win the job over Kenny. But if Kenny somehow, takes it over, then hey, that to me shows growth in Pickett and what the offense that Artie Smith has. So Arthur, I'm gonna call him Artie though. Anyway, so excited to see what happens with Russell and the Steelers. Hopefully, we can come to an agreement. I would love that, and we can address some other positions. So next thing we're going to talk about here is we have released Patrick Peterson. Again, this is more of a cap casualty move here. We need to clear space. So unfortunately, after his one year with the Steelers, he's gone. He was just up and down, inconsistent play. We moved him to safety at times in certain situations, and I think maybe he played a little bit better than there, but just right? He's not the same Patrick Peterson that we know from the Cardinals, and obviously um, even from what he did at Minnesota. It's just situation just didn't happen to the perfect marriage that we really wanted to. Uh, Next guy we're going to talk about is Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson, he is also getting released, and this clears $10 million. So this is a big cap casualty release cut here. Expected to do some good things with that money because we definitely need to improve a lot of positions, especially on the offense. So this one is what it is. He's a solid guy, but he's really our third option, right? So and really we only used him in running downs. Like he was obviously a good run blocker. So apologies, got ahead of myself. So last two things on the Steelers talk is that Mitch Morse, the center for Buffalo Bills, he was cut from the Bills recently. He will meet, if he's not already met, with the Steelers. So some interest there. Hopefully we can get that signed and get that position out of the way. I don't mind that as well. Mitch Morse is a solid center. So if we go that direction, I'm fine with that. If we do not go the direction and still get a center in the draft, there's a few centers out there that are, highly rated from some of the scouts out there. And then lastly, we signed Braden Fehoko. He is a nose tackle / D tackle, right? That played with the Chargers. So big body guy. Just another added depth piece for our D line because we need to help Hayward a little bit, right? Get him more fresh at certain downs, and other people like Benton from Wisconsin. All right, guys, that will conclude our Steelers talk. Something actually I will conclude at the end as well, just so it makes more sense. The last thing we're going to talk about, though, guys, we got UFC 299. This is a huge, huge card. I'm pumped up for it. I cannot wait. So some fights here that were kind of mentioned. The prelims. We got Munoz versus Phillips. That's going to be a banger at bantamweight. Dos Anjos is fighting. We got Caitlin Chaikin versus Macy Barber. That's going to be a freaking fun fight. And then we got Curtis Blades versus Almeida. Almeida is a crazy big dude, Brazilian. Blades is Blade, obviously, with his wrestling. But, man, this main card, we got Peter Yan versus Song. I'm interested. I think Yan, he's a great fighter, but just, he's been losing these close fights lately, in my opinion. And so hopefully Yan can get it done. Burns versus Della Maddalena. This Della dude, it's pretty JDM is what we're going to call him. Excuse me, Australian. He has got striking for days. A little weak on the ground game, so we'll see if that's kind of Burns' strategy going into this. But Burns, he's no slouch. He's going to bring the heat. So definitely kind of going towards Burns' way, but I think JDM gets it done. Holland versus MVP, man. This is gonna this is the people's main event potentially. There's so many good fights, but he is a dog, and so I don't know. I'm just interested to see what MVP basically looks like against UFC. Even though pretty much martial arts is martial arts regardless of the promotion, but obviously with the hype with UFC provides and all that. So I don't know who to pick, but I just cannot wait for this whole main card and fight card, and we're definitely gonna be enjoying the night, guys. Co-main event, I believe this is a 5-round fight. Dustin Poirier versus Saint Dennis. I gotta go with my dog Dustin, obviously, but Saint Dennis is no slouch. I think the age with Poirier concerns me. It really does. This game is a young man's game, and so interested to see where he's at. Mindset and health wise. I think he's going to be in great shape. And again, Poirier's a dog. He's gonna go out swinging, basically. And then our last fight, guys, is O'Malley versus Cheeto Vera. Man, so this is a rematch. Cheeto fought O'Malley in during the COVID era at the Apex and had this nasty leg kick, really calf kick, and kind of fucked up his nerve. Something that Michael Chandler actually had to deal with when he was at Bellator at the time. And so that kind of, hindered O'Malley. And so Cheeto got him down and then just a couple elbows. People, speculate, I would say, probably a quick little decision from her, but maybe he felt right with the injury that he saw prior. He just felt he wasn't going to do much. So very excited about this. O'Malley's been improving a lot, especially with the striking. But Cheeto is a dog, so I'm interested to see what Cheeto we get, though. I mean, there has been some inconsistency in his fight. So I'm hoping we see a Cheeto that's going to push forward and press O'Malley, because I think that's when we're going to really see the good fight out of these two. But I think O'Malley does get it done and potentially set up for a third. Again, I think this fight would really tell if a third is warranted. So that is UFC 299, guys. That's our sports update around the world. Real quick, going back to MLB, we're going to be dropping a division prediction next week, so keep your eye out on that. We're also going to probably do some division predictions collab with Cheesehead Chatter as well. So again, just keep your eye on that stuff. Appreciate your guys' support as always, for tuning in and listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.